I'm talking about my top 10 mistakes and how to avoid them. So it looks like we have some people joining us. Great to have you here. Thanks for jumping on. Um, I'm Sari Kimbell, and I work with packaged food businesses. I have a consulting company called Sari Kimbell Consulting, and I also have Food Business Success. And Food Business Success is a place that I work with passionate early stage entrepreneurs who are wanting to start their business, start that passionate project that they've always wanted to start, or to grow if you already have a product and you want to get onto store shelves, you want to get online, you want to go into Amazon. So that's what I do, and I love, love, love what I do. Someone asked me how I got into this, and maybe I'll just tell you a quick little bit about me. So I have been doing helping people in this space for 5 years on my own, but before that I was at Whole Foods Market, and I was first a buyer, and then I was the marketing director for the third largest grossing store in the Rocky Mountain region. And I really had a mission to help get local producers' products off of the shelf where they had worked so hard to get on the shelf, but to help them get their product off the shelf into people's carts. So I saw a lot of things that people did wrong and where their failings were, and I did a lot to try to help them fix those. So I just took that knowledge, and now I'm doing this awesome work, and I get to work with hundreds of packaged food business entrepreneurs and help start or grow their business. So I want to talk about so I have a PDF, a free PDF that you can pick up. It's at foodbizsuccess.com/10-mistakes. And the link is also in the bio. So you can pick this up and read it yourself. But I think that it was worth revisiting. I created it about probably over a year and a half ago. And in light of the work that I've done over the last year and a half, as well as kind of this new normal post-COVID time, I thought it was really worth revisiting. So I'm going to do the first 2 mistakes on this live, and then I'll keep going with some future lives, and we'll cover all 10 of them. All right, so let's jump in to the first 2 mistakes. So the number one mistake that I sometimes see, I actually don't see this too much with the people I work with, because most people are very passionate about their product. But the first one is not loving your product. There are folks out there who just see a new fad, a keto or gluten-free or some kind of fad that they want to get on the bandwagon and start a packaged food business. I don't recommend doing this, especially if you're bootstrapping. If you don't have a lot of funds to get a project off the ground and hire a team, you have to love your product so much. You have to want to make this thing happen so badly. So if you don't love your product, if you are not passionate about it, and you are a bootstrapping early stage entrepreneur just trying to get your cookie business or your jam or your seasonings, your kombucha, if you're kind of just medium lukewarm about it, like it would be nice, I don't recommend doing it. So here's why, and I'm going to try to use some great examples of clients that I've worked with. So I worked with some guys who made ketchup and mustard, and they both had families, and they were in their kitchens, until midnight, making this ketchup for people, and then turning around and using their weekends to go to farmers markets. I have another client, Katerina with Havenly Baked Goods. Her gluten-free breads are phenomenal, and she's a mother of 2, stays home with them, and the only time she could get into her kitchen was it was like 9 p.m. and 2 a.m. And she sent me a photo with her just covered in flour, or non-flour, but gluten-free flour. And she's exhausted, but she's doing it because she really believes in it and really loves it. So you are going to be asked to do hard things when you start a business. Just being an entrepreneur itself is a lot. You're going to fail. You're going to try things. You're going to get pushed outside your comfort zone. I know a lot of people go into these businesses because they're just so passionate about their product, but you also have a whole business to run. And so you really got to love your product enough to get over yourself, get out of your comfort zone. And that's something that I really help people with, and understand what is going to be required of them and help them get over those fears of approaching a buyer, right? That's the biggest one I get. Is I just want to make my product. This is an amazing granola. And I'm yeah, but now you got to go sell it, right? And not everybody feels like a natural salesperson. So I help you know exactly how to approach a buyer, what to say, what to do, how to get them interested and tell your story. So that's the first mistake. You got to love your product. Don't start this thinking you're going to make millions of dollars. Profit margins are very small, especially at the beginning. So you really got to love that product. All right. Moving on. The second one is pricing. And so we talked about kind of the feel good, passion, loving your product. Let's talk about numbers now. The reality is that you do not have the efficiencies of scale to charge what a grocery store, cookie or jam or something like that is charging. So we have to be sure, though, that your pricing is in line. You can't compete on price. So you need to compete on other attributes that help your product stand apart. But this is something that I see entrepreneurs make. I worked with a granola company that had very expensive ingredients, and they were pricing it, trying to be competitive in the marketplace at farmers markets. And then when you take it into wholesale, they had to raise their prices, and nobody likes to raise their prices. Nobody at the farmers market wanted those prices raised. So going into it with a plan, knowing what your plan is. Do you just want to be at farmers markets? Do you want to go into wholesale? Do you want to go into online? Do you want to go into food service? Do you want to go on Amazon? So knowing kind of what your 3-year plan is really helpful when we talk about your pricing strategy. And I see a lot of people they don't factor their correct cost of goods sold. So you're going to hear a term in this industry called COGS. That's your cost of goods sold. So that's everything that goes into making that product. So I have a number of videos on my YouTube channel. If you just go to youtube.com/food business success, you can check out all of my free video content there. But I have, I think, 4 videos on pricing your product for profit. What I see, unfortunately, is that a lot of people are not calculating their cost of goods sold correctly, and therefore you have started an expensive hobby. Unfortunately, you have not laid the groundwork for a profitable food business. So I help people with that exact thing. I have a course specifically on pricing. And I have a workshop coming up, a live workshop on July 16th. And if you're watching this after that, you can still get the replay of the workshop. But it's a pricing for profit workshop. And I'm partnering with one of my colleagues, Shannon Roddy, who is an Amazon expert. And we're going to talk both about how to price your product correctly for wholesale and what to expect when it comes to fees and margins and how to actually make money. Because everybody's going to take a part, right? The grocery store needs to make money. If you go into distribution, they need to make money. So you need to be sure that you are accounting for all of those other people when you're pricing your product. And then Shannon's going to talk about how to price your product correctly for going on to Amazon. So it's going to be a really, really important workshop for you to attend. So you can get that at foodbizsuccess.com/profit. So those are my 2 mistakes for today. We have, you gotta love your product. You gotta be all in. You gotta be ready to be an entrepreneur and work on your mindset and not just producing the product, because you gotta sell the product as well. And you gotta wear a lot of hats at the beginning, and you're gonna be asked to do hard things, which you can totally do. And I'm here to support you in that. And then the second mistake is not pricing your product correctly. I don't want you to start an expensive hobby. I want you to start a profitable food business. So starting at the beginning with the correct pricing is going to be so crucial for you. So I hope that was helpful. You can find me obviously here on Instagram, Food Biz Success, on Facebook. I do have a private Facebook group that is open to anybody in the packaged food industry. So you can go look for that Facebook group, Food Business Success. Check out the YouTube channel for lots of free content as well. And I hope to see you next time when I go over the next 2 mistakes out of my top 10. Again, you can just grab that free PDF at foodbizsuccess.com/10-mistakes. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we will talk soon.